Silverman leading the race for the independent at-large council seat. This was the special election to fill what was left of Kenyan McDuffie's term through the end of this year.
He, of course, left his council seat to run for mayor. Our Rafael Sanchez Cruz sat down with Silverman, who lost this very seat to McDuffie 4 years ago. Big change for her.
Yeah, that's big change, and you said it. There's so many changes coming at the council, and this is just one of them. Look, some are calling this Elissa Silverman's comeback as she awaits for the final results. She's also preparing for another run in November. She's planning to serve and run for an at-large council member seat so she can serve another 4 years.
We need to defend our city from these deleterious impacts of Trump.
Elissa Silverman outlining some of her priorities if she regains her seat on the D.C. Council.
One of my big agenda items is truancy. We need our kids back in school.
But what makes her potential return to the Wilson building different?
The 2.0 version of me is, even when it's a contentious issue, let's find the common ground on it. Let's not let it get personal. And let's, look to do the best public policy that, will benefit district residents and businesses here.
4 years ago, she lost her re-election to Kenyan McDuffie, who is now fighting to be the Democratic mayoral nominee. Do you hold any hard feelings against Kenyan McDuffie?
If you hold on to grudges, the only person it impacts is you. And that's what I had to learn over these past few years, is to accept what happened, move on, and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Silverman tells me she supports an independent investigation into D.C.'s Office of Campaign Finance. This comes after Silverman and Janice Lewis-George both faced allegations of wrongdoing by this office just days before their primary. Both Silverman and Lewis-George opponents of Kenyan McDuffie. Now, Silverman's 2022 case was dropped, and Janice Lewis-George is appealing her case.
So what about Mayor Bowser? What is her team saying about these preliminary results?
Yeah, Lorenzo, there were no public events today by Mayor Muriel Bowser, but it's hard to ignore that a lot of the candidates who are leading in their races are people who have had contentious relationships with the mayor. Some of the people on her team told me today that they are surprised by these large margins in some of these races, including the one that you mentioned, the congressional delegate seat, where we saw council member Brooke Pinto, an ally of Mayor Muriel Bowser, losing pretty bad to her colleague, Robert White.
A lot of money on that race, too.
She sure did. And again, huge gap there. Commanding lead, as you've been reporting. All right.